Hello comrades, my name is Fritz and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, the quest for the final frontier. Yes, Kerbal Space Program is back with a vengeance, and welcome to Season 3. If you'll remember, just a brief recap over the past 2 seasons, this series, the quest for the final frontier, is all about completing the game's career mode, which basically consists of a technology tree where you do missions and unlock new parts as you go along. So we've made quite good progress at the end of the last season, and we left off in about October-November time, with the 0.25 update. And yes, that added destructible buildings, new explosion graphics, amongst other things. But now it's time to crack on. We're playing in 0.25 now, as you can see in the bottom right hand corner, 0.0.642. So let's, without further ado, dive straight in and pick up exactly where we left off. Now, I've been doing some work over the past week or so in the run up to this first recording sesh of the season. And yes, I had been planning, if you keep up to date with my Facebook timeline, a mission to Dres. Now, yeah, there are a couple of craft that I want to recover. So if we quickly pop off to the 0 frames per second, pop off to the tracking station. Where are we? Here we are. Just recover these. And cover that. And this one. Okay. Great, okay, we're ready to pop off to the vehicle assembly building, where we shall begin to prepare for our mission to Dres. Now, I have already launched. It's going to be a mission that consists of different modules, so I've already launched 2 of the modules, a command module and a lander section. No rovers on it, unfortunately. I don't have the adequate technology to do that. But this current section that we're building now, which will lead me to show you the relevant craft that I've already put up into orbit later on in the episode, is a science station. So what's basically going to happen is the land's going to go down, do its science. The science station is going to deploy a bunch of probes. They'll transmit some data back, and then lander will come back up, Apollo style, dock with the science station, the command module, and the whole shebang heads off home. Except the science module, because that isn't necessary anymore. So yes, let's head off to the VAB and take a look at the rocket. Now, upon loading up the rocket, you will notice that it isn't huge as such. Where were we? Dres Orbit Station, there we go. That's because this rocket, or this lifter stage, the big schlongy thing, which will be appearing on your screens now, is only designed to take me into low Kerbin orbit. I fitted the science station with its own little engine, so we can do all of our docking maneuvers, and it's got its own snazzy nose cone, which means that we can have a bit of fun with the aerodynamics, which are currently non-existent. And I hope I'm close enough to the microphone. Anyway, yes, so what I need to quickly do is set up the asparagus staging. So what have we got here? We've got 4 engines, and then we need this middle one to drop down there. That's that one there. And we should probably put those on there like so. Our decouplers, it's going to have a conventional kind of spiral pattern. So if we expand this, we need to find out what this one is, don't we? That one, the bottom one. Goodo. And the next one, that's our first rocket that's going to drop off in the sequence, is this one here, which is that one in the middle. Oops. Oh, this doesn't seem to go. There we go. And we can drag this whole stage down to there. Good. Right, and then we've got this engine section. We should probably fire that up, because if anything goes wrong, we might need that to make some course corrections. But yes, I bound the nose cone jets into an action group, and these are the two probes that we're going to send down to the surface. It's also got its own materials base, so we can do orbital science, as is the norm, and temperature scans, and other such things. We don't need a seismic device, accelerometer or anything, the yellow thing that you can see there on the edge of the probe, because obviously we're not measuring from the surface, are we? So anyway, yes, let us, without further ado, assign some crew for the mission. I only need Rontry or Tedbury. Let's go with Tedbury. I only need one guy in here, because I've got 3 guys in the command module and Lando. So there'll be one guy left in orbit, and then this guy will be in the science module, so those two can collab and work in here, so we can get the appropriate amount of data. They'll stay in there for the time that the lander is on the surface. And then we have 2 guys in the lander left over. So yes, let's save, and staging is set up correctly. Let's go and launch this beast. Hopefully we will start off the episode of the season on a high and get into orbit, unlike last time. Beginning of season 2 there was some unforeseen mishaps, shall we say. Let's wait for this to load up. And I'm literally getting 0 frames per second at the moment. Okay, Tedbury Kerman is ready for launch. So, we've got a good clear run into orbit. So, in 5, 4, 3, 2, ignition sequence starts. Liftoff. We have liftoff. Season 3 of Kerbal Space Program is underway. Immediately we've got a fairly standard liftoff. 60 meters per second. Not bad at all. Doing good, doing very good. 90, we should probably throttle down a bit. Those the first two rockets are going to detach quite soon. And Tedbury's looking good. Everything seems to be okay. Seems to be quite an efficient rocket. We have quite a high thrust-to-weight ratio because we're not lugging vast amounts of fuel around for interplanetary travel or anything. This is just a standard little lifter stage. And let me see, what we need to do is check on our thingy widget, our lander and command module. They are currently ahead of us, which is totally the wrong position, although we can adjust that as we go along. Although I have to say it would have been easier to, yeah. Anyway, that's not really an issue. Let's just press on into the icy depths of the final frontier. Lots of cliches on this episode today. I think that's certainly not the last on my channel either. Sorry if you're not particularly a cliche person. And I think we're accelerating a bit too quickly. We should probably ease up a little. We're only 5 kilometers up and we're doing 175 meters per second, so we've got to throttle down quite a bit. And we're about to go first aid SEP off the pop. Slowing down a bit, that's fine, we can deal with that. And fuel tank in the face, that's gonna hurt. 7 kilometers, we can probably accelerate a little. $170. We might actually want to go for a bit of a roll program. Or should we leave it? I'm not entirely sure. Let's see. I think we can deal with this. 190. This rocket, like thrust to weight ratio, as I said, I don't think we needed all of this vast amount of fuel to get us into orbit. There's the 200 meters per second mark. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Doing well, doing well. We are ticking all the right boxes, should we say. But let's not count our cows before they hatch their eggs. Let's continue. Okay, there's the 10 kilometer mark. Let's head over into is it a westward orbit? I think it is. Westward, yes, because north is pointing to the right still. And I'm gonna give myself a bit of height as opposed to lateral velocity because I want to come in above my target, seeing as my target is in quite a low orbit as is. Anyway, yes, I'm going for the lateral velocity trade-off in face of speed upwards. Vertical speed, should I say. For that reason alone, I would usually tilt over a bit more, but in this situation I think it's appropriate to do just this. 300 meters per second, we are steaming our way into orbit. Hopefully this whole shebang has got enough oomph to kind of keep us pointing in the right direction, and we've got a bit of a wicked shimmy going on here. 350, doing well, doing well. We should probably zoom in a bit, because this camera doesn't really help as is. 25 kilometers. Got some way to go, but we are certainly getting there. As it stands, I'm slightly concerned about the fuel situation, but we will be using less and less fuel the higher up we climb into the atmosphere because there's less resistance, etc. We should probably start tilting over a bit more soon. We should probably wait until the customary 500 meter per second marker. There it is. Let's pop the nose over to the 45 degree mark. Is that the 45 degree mark? Yes, it is. Stay on the 90 to brake. And drifting a bit. Lock it in place. Jolly good, jolly good, jolly good. And 38 kilometers. These tanks still have got a lot of fuel in them, I have to say. I mean, they are doing a phenomenal job. Right. 44, 45, making cracking progress. I think we shall stay at this attitude for a while longer. I want to get it to my apparatus up to about 85 kilometers. Just so we have a good bit of leeway. These tanks are about to go in a minute or so. I'm going to tilt it just a bit to about there, just to maintain some velocity. But 58, 59, 60 kilometers, we've got a bit to go, bit of a way to go. But we are already almost there, and the stage is about to run out. So, let us get ready for stage separation. Booster sep. Let's do this. We're climbing into orbit like a boss. And by the way, Frovan Kerman, our pilot on the Eve mission, is still on Eve. Just thought we might want to pay our respects to a fallen comrade, if you know what I mean. There we go, 85 kilometers. We have main engine cutoff. The Dres orbit station is making its way into orbit, however the wrong orbit, as we no doubt know, which should be orbiting around Dres, but you know, we can't have everything right from the outset, right off the bat. We have to start somewhere, as we did at the beginning of this series. Intersect 1, so I'm miles out, obviously my intersect 2 is on the other side of the planet. Not the most convenient. What are we at? 50 seconds, okay. I'm gonna start burning if I can whack on the RCS, kick it up to full chat, and see what this baby can do. Make sure we line it directly onto the horizon, like so. Very good. Our intersects are slowly moving together. That's not the intersect we want, by the way, but it's just a sign that we are doing the right thing. Now this is more like it. So I think the orange markers will be the ones that will line up. So these will line up first, and then on the next orbit round, that'll be our predicted intersect, although I might be wrong about this. And yes, I'm completely wrong about that. Anyway, this main sail engine seems to be struggling a little in the upper reaches. Overheating a tad, that should be okay. And okay, we've got a bit too much power going on here. Just gonna throttle back a little bit, let the momentum pull its weight, and drop it a bit more actually, because, you know, why not? Conserve some fuel. And probably still a bit too high, so I need to just wait until I'm around my apoapsis to do this thing, as people in Jamaica say. Okay, orbit, here it comes. This is a great orbit, by the way, just because I can brag about my own skill at this game. Anyway, 155, 89. Good job, Tedbury, you did us proud. Quite eccentric, though not the most efficient way of transferring out. So let's see, we are in a higher orbit, so we've got to wait until they catch up with us. In which case, I'm going to slip into a... Actually, I'm going to cut here briefly, and then when we're ready to go, I'll be back. That's it from me for now, and I will of course see you on the other side. Right guys, I've obtained a closest approach. I'm doing a quick burst on the mainsail, just to obtain a bit of an intercept in the orbit, and there it goes, T+. Let's do this. Stop, and we can probably finish off the burn with the RCS, turn off the SAS, because that stops us from rotating as we want to. God, it's a big beast of a machine, this. And about there we can do this. 0.3. 0.3 meters per second I don't think will make a vast difference, and it's certainly correctable as it stands. So 15.7 kilometers. Brillianto. And we've got a rather sizable amount of fuel left. And what I should probably do is extend a couple of the solar panels, just so we don't run out of energy. These solar panels aren't vital around Dres because we are going into the inner solar system, as opposed to getting further away from the sun. So if we were to go to Elu, for example, the furthest planet from the sun, we'd have trouble harvesting energy, but seeing as we are under no obligation to do so, yeah, we don't have to. I think the ship's going to end up slightly ahead, although our advantage in terms of orbital speed is diminishing. So we should be around the same place. That's my paradoxus. Okay, so we're good. And 15 kilometers coming up. I should see the spaceship approaching in regular scenic mode. And what we should do is point away from our target and start to burn. Retrograde. Target retrograde. So yes, let's see. Cancel out our relative motion. Stop, and we're now going towards the target, which is there. Now, there is a rather large rocket stage in the near vicinity, so this could be a little bit of a problemo. Now, a common mistake that people make when docking is to cancel out their relative velocity with a yellow retrograde marker and think, okay, now I've got to go towards my target and burn onto the yellow prograde marker. That's not what you should do. You should burn on the pink target marker. I've done that many a time. It's certainly something that isn't helped by the fact that Squad don't give you much docking advice as such. 100 meters per second. Should take us about 2 minutes to get to our target. And then we'll just cruise in and dock. Now, what I'm going to do is dump this stage when we get closer, because I don't want to attempt to dock with the spacecraft with this huge mainsail tank. And another thing that we must do is, if I quickly, it's auto saving there, isn't it? Quick save, like that, and jettison the nose cone. Hopefully this works, it won't be a colossal flop. But yeah, let's find out. Nope, it didn't work. Hang on. Should be, was it 1 or... There we go. Very strange, seeing as only one of the SRBs fired up. But anyway, that's the nose cone gone. That'll drift out into space wherever. And we should probably keep an eye on our target. Let's stop this, because the RCS is draining away a bit. Okay. One propellant, we're good on that. 7.9. We should be on a collision course with it pretty much. Where is it gone? 200 meters, sorry. And we're doing pretty insane if we've gone 200 meters. 6.5 kilometers. We are coming in hot. Let's start to kill off that velocity. There goes the nose cone. 50 meters per second. I'm going to ditch this stage. And there's the decoupler done. Space station is approaching. So comrades, chillax for a spot of orbital ballet courtesy of Strauss. Right guys, so docking complete, all of our faffing around is finished. Hope you're not bored stiffless now, but beautiful sunrise over Kerbin. That's a promising omen for our upcoming mission. Do join me next time when we will be casting this whole shebang off to the dwarf planet Dres. Do please like, comment and subscribe, and if you are already a subscriber, please do check out my Facebook page if you haven't already. I do regular updates, but I want to say regular, there's not much meat on it at the moment, it's kind of bare bones fleshed out, but I will eventually get that going into a full-scale operation, scaling back my Google Plus presence as I do, but you know, keep up to date with that. I do regular updates, as I said, yes. Join me next time on Kerbal Space Program. My name is Fritz, and I will, of course, see you next time.